Welcome to Beading with Machi Wapakwenyu. I'm your host, Lydia Sturby. Welcome to the video for the L'Oreal Arts Festival 2026 Métis Beading activity. We're going to be making a wristlet with the colors of the 4 directions, or the medicine wheel. So in your kit you would have received a tube with all 4 of the colors you're going to need. You would have gotten a ring and a clip, a needle, a bobbin of thread, and a little wax heart in case your thread starts to fray. You can rub the wax across there, as well as 16 inches of paracord, and I've already burnt the ends so that they're not going to fray on you. So to begin with, you're going to take a piece of thread from your bobbin, and I always start kind of in between the fingers at one side. I stretch out my arm and I go all the way to the opposite shoulder, and that's just going to give me a really good length of string so that I'm not going to overextend my shoulder. Next, you're going to put it through the eye of the needle. Anytime you need to, you can pause the video. If you get stuck or fall behind, you can rewind and go to where you need to. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do multiple knots in one spot. This was a method taught me by a pretty well-known Métis artisan here in Winnipeg. Her name is Janine Crouchy. So this is the eye of my needle. I've got my tail and working end through it. This is the long end of my string, or otherwise known as the working end. I'm going to lay that the opposite way over my needle. So I've made a really big loop with my string, and then I'm going to wind that around. It doesn't matter if I go towards or away from me, but I'm going to do it like 5 or 6 times because we really want to make sure we get a good sized knot so it doesn't come through the paracord. Then I'm going to slide all those twisties around the needle, down the needle, down the string, all the way to the very end, and that's going to make a big knot at the very end, all in one place. So you can kind of see there, I've got a really big knot at the right near the end of my string, all at the same place. So that's going to keep it from going through my lanyard. Now your kit would have come with these pieces already on, but I'm going to show you just in case you decide you want to try making your own lanyard. So I put both my pieces on and I've gone over the end here. Okay. Now I'm going to go through both pieces of the lanyard, or wristlet, the paracord you could say, and I'm going to twist that around about 10 times. And what that's going to do is it's just going to strengthen or reinforce the paracord here. And so again, in your kit, this part has already been done for you to save time at the festival. Okay, so I've gone and done that part for you. So this is what you should have now, is your string, your needle, and your paracord ready to go. The very next thing you're going to do is wherever your paracord ends here, you're going to push through the paracord there. So this part you'll have to do. And that means I'm coming out right above where my paracord, the short part of my paracord, ended. Now we're going to go north, east, south, west. And we're going to take 2 of each color, 2 for the north, 2 for the east, 2 for the south, and 2 for the west. And you're going to do that as many times as you are comfortable putting on there. Now, understand that every time you put 2 on, that's about 1 round of beads for going around your paracord. Okay, you're going to want to do this, even if you did it like 10 times, that would be great to get you started. So 2 yellow, 2 white, 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 black, and you're just going to keep repeating that pattern over and over until you are comfortable with the number of beads on your string. So right now I've got 5 sets. That means I'm going to be doing about 5 rows. I'm going to show you this part now. So I like to let gravity help me do the work. In my non-dominant hand, so I write with my right hand, I'm holding the string and beads in my right hand, and I'm holding the paracord in my left hand. Now, it doesn't matter if I twist clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever you are comfortable with. I tend to go counterclockwise, but that's just me. So now I'm going to twist my paracord in my left hand while holding my beads down and letting gravity kind of pull them tight. And you're going to see that my beads are going to want to naturally stick close together. And they should be lining up, black on top of black, yellow top of yellow, see that? And we're just going to keep twisting and twisting until we get to the end of the beads we put on. And there I am. So now I'm pinching all my beads between my left thumb and my left pointer finger, and I'm going to push through the paracord with my needle so that all my beads are going to stay where I want them to stay. You see that? Okay. So now they're all going to stay where I kind of want them to stay. And I've come up right between these two red beads. So I'm going to go through the last red bead, the black, and the final black that was on my string. And now when I pull tight, I'm coming back out where I ended off. I'm going to pull that tight, and now I'm good to start putting my beads on again. So now I need to just do it again. 2 white, 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 black. And slide it down. 2 white, 2 yellow, 2 red, and 2 black. Slide it down. Again, do it another 5 times, and then we're going to secure it to our string. Okay, that's my third set. And 2 white, 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 black. That's my fourth set. We'll do it one more time, and then I'll show you again how to secure it to your paracord. 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 black. Oh, I got 3 black. I'm going to take one off. Okay. Okay, so here I go. I'm letting gravity pull them down. I've got this in my left hand, and I'm just going to spin it. Sorry. Okay. And now I've spun to the very end here. I'm going to pinch this between my thumb and my finger and poke through my paracord. Okay, and look at that. I happen to be between those 2 red beads again. So I'm going to go out the red, black, black at the very end of my last string. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get very close to the end and just save a little bit of paracord left. Okay? Now, if you decide you get like halfway here and you're like, I don't want to do anymore, and you want to finish it off, that's totally fine. You'll end up finishing it off the same way we're going to do here. You're just going to cut your paracord further down. But right now I'm going to speed up the video to show me getting all the way to the end, and then I will show you how to close it off. Okay, I'm being very irritating, so I'm going to try this one, and I'm going to show you how to tie it off and add more string. Just going to one of this piece. It's going to be a very long piece of string here. Just use the amount that you're comfortable with. Okay, so I'm at my end. I'm going to thread my needle again because it's unthreaded there. Okay, I'm going to pull it through. Okay, and now I'm kind of in between here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in between these two rows, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the felt, or the paracord. Oh, I unthreaded my needle again. Okay, so I've gone under some paracord, and in that loop I'm just going to stick my needle through it one time, and then find my loop again and go through a second time. And now I can cut this string as close as I can. Now if you have an adult, they can help burn your extra string so it's not noticeable. And then you're going to get another piece of cord, same thing, it's about an arm's length from the middle of one finger all the way to the other opposite shoulder. That would be ideal, so you're not pulling too hard or too far. Then you're going to thread it and use that same method. And if this is too hard for you, you're going to have to try to put multiple knots in the exact same spot at the end of your string, and that's not very easy to do. It's not impossible. There's my knot again. Okay, and now I'm just going to stick that from the opposite side of my paracord to where I finished off, and I'll come through my last couple of beads wherever I am. And now I'm good to continue on with my pattern until I get closer to the end. Okay, so here I am. I've used all my beads. I'm at the end here. I've run out of yellow anyway. So I'm going to say that this is my end. It was very hard for me to get the rest of this twisted underneath my camera for you because of how long it is already, and trying to keep things straight while still keeping this somewhat in focus. So I've pushed through to the opposite side like I've shown you before. Now this time I'm just going to go, so I'm on the outside between those two red beads. I'm going to go on the opposite side and push through again. And I'm going to do this one more time across that white bead and out the top here. Okay, so what I've done now is I've just secured my last piece. Okay, so to tie it off, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my paracord and go through my loop twice. And that's going to put a double knot right there. I pulled it tight. I can do that a second time. Pick up a bit of paracord, go through my loop twice, once, twice, and pull it. Okay, and now I'm free to snip this. Again, you can get an adult to help you with burning your ends here. Okay, now you can see I've got quite a bit of my paracord left here, and I don't need quite so much. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to cut a chunk of it off. And you need an adult to help you with the lighter. And you need to burn the end of your paracord, otherwise it's going to start to fray and fall apart, and we don't want that. So have an adult help you out. If you're in the class, that's me. I'm going to be the one, or my helper, going around and doing your ends. Okay? Now I'm going to get my threaded needle back together. So right now I want to attach that paracord to the other two pieces. Okay? So just like we did the first time, this time I'm going to go through all three paracord pieces. I'm going to wrap it at least 10 times around here. Okay? I've done more than 10, that's okay. And then I'm going to go through all three layers of paracord. Once on this side of all the string and once at this side of all the string. And we're going to tie it off again. So you're going to grab a bit of paracord and go through your loop twice. Pull it. Okay. Okay, the last piece to do, because nobody wants to look at this goofy knot of paracord, I'm going to use, you would have gotten a piece of black leather. I'm going to use beige just so you can see it better. And so you're going to want this to wrap around just like this to kind of cover up all that knotted area. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to wrap it around just to see the shape of it. If you need to make it thinner, you can do that. If you want to make it a little bit skinnier or shorter, you can do that as well. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use some really good glue. So if you've got fabric glue, I like to use the E6000, so that's what I'll be using during the class today. It's coming out really slow right now. There you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put it a little bit on there. And now I want to make sure I don't get any on my hook or my key ring. I'm going to wrap it around. Get that down. And wrap this side around. And as I kind of squish it, I'm going to move the glue so that it goes right to the end. You can see I kind of squished a little bit out the side, so I'm just going to wipe that before it gets stuck to anything else. And now you got to hold that for the next little bit, just to make sure that it's going to stay attached. That's kind of it. That's it. As you can see, we have now made a wristlet out of the medicine wheel colors. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had fun. Again, if you wanted to make it shorter, you totally could. Marcy, miigwech.